Many people, they do keep a camera inside the house, right? Oh, this is my babysitter taking care of my baby properly. There's plus and minus to it.
So your book, The Wisdom Bridge, which came out recently, as someone who's not a parent, I had a difficult time understanding some of the things that were written for a parent. But I figured, I would instead look at my childhood and compare that to your childhood. You mentioned you grew up like in a village in Gujarat where you were able to run free, you had all the freedom in the world, and you were raised by essentially an entire village, which is like a more tribal kind of upbringing, different than the kind of upbringing that people have now in nuclear families, where either they're raised by their parents or by their maids or by whoever's available. And one of the lines that really struck out to me was you said, back then it was not important to make children feel special, but to make them feel secure, right? And if you read any of the articles today, if you read about the helicopter parenting in China, or you read about how in certain famous schools in India, parents have access to CCTV footage of their kids so that they can, quote unquote, see what they're doing at all times, it's very, very different from the kind of world that you grew up in. Why do you think making children feel special is a problem?
It's not so much about not making them feel special. I think making them feel special often drains parents. Your energies are invested in a wrong track. You are investing your funds, your limited resources into things which you should not be really bothered about. So if you don't have a trust in a school, why let your child be going to visiting that school at all? If you don't have trust, how are you inculcating trust in your child? So, I saw you doing this, I saw you were playing this, I saw you were crying, baby, what was wrong with you today? Watching, and imagine what happens to the child later on. Papa is watching, Papa is watching, Papa is watching. Everybody is watching me. They can't express themselves freely. And anytime you are not able to express yourself freely, you feel bound, and your inner creativity will be lost. Because it is through mistakes we learn many things.
And you begin rebelling in strange ways. You become passive aggressive to the people who care for you, and you try to find ways to get out. But how do you think parents can strike that balance? Because it's not the same.
It's not the same. Many people, they do keep a camera inside the house, right? Oh, this is my babysitter taking care of my baby properly. There's plus and minus to it. At that age, you do require it, because you don't know whom you are entrusting your child with. In the school, it's a different story. There are many, many children playing around, many teachers looking after them. So I think watching everything and telling your children what you are doing, what you are seeing, is different from having a technology inside your bedroom or in your living room watching. Because you're not interacting with a toddler. You're not speaking to a 2 months old. How was your maid? Oh, I saw you crying. Did you cry? Why were you crying? These questions are not there. In fact, you are taking action directly in a reciprocal way with the attendee or the caretaker. Such is not the case in the school. So you are only satisfying yourself. Oh, I saw my child and I saw he's doing very well. That's all. What more are you doing?